3.5 hours? Hello, welcome to Just My Thoughts. I'm your host, Khaleel Ward, and on this episode, I'll be talking about The Irishman, the movie directed by Martin Scorsese. It was in limited theaters, and you can watch it on Netflix just like I did. Again, 3.5 hours. The movie is based on a book, I Hear You Paint Houses. It's about this guy named Frank Sheeran. He's basically telling his story about how he ended up killing people for the mob and how he had a involvement in the disappearance of Jimmy Hoffa. The movie it stars not Martin. It stars Robert De Niro, Al Pacino, Joe Pesci, Ray Romano is in it. Harvey Keitel is in it, and they use the de-aging technology. That you probably seen in the Marvel movies and other movies where they de-age Pesci, De Niro, and Pacino. The technology looks good in this, except in the light. There's a scene or two where they stare up like at the sun, and it looks really weird. I think for Pacino, it looked strange. Like just the de-aging on him looks really strange. I didn't like it that much. On De Niro, it looked good, because he's supposed to be playing this younger guy. Pesci, hit or misses as the story goes along. But anyway, the story follows Frank. He's a vet. He drives a truck. He does a little like illegal things on the side with the truck business that he has. Eventually, he gets caught up in some stuff. He runs into Ray Romano, who happens to be cousins with Joe Pesci's character Russell, who's in the mob, and he has a bunch of power. Pesci likes De Niro, and they hit it off, and Frank starts doing little side jobs, for them, which includes killing. And I think the killings are well done. The killings in this movie are just like, it's just so simple. They like, we need you to kill this guy. And Frank is like, okay. And he just walks up to the guy and he's like, hey, Frank. And he just shoots him in the face 2 or 3 times and then walks off. That's usually how all the killings go. And it's pretty funny. There's one killing in particular where Frank breaks it down, like which weaponry he will bring. Like, the weapon can't be too loud, but it has to be loud enough to scare people, but it has to be small enough but strong enough. That part was cool. And again, it's the same concept. We need you to kill this guy. Okay. It is really no planning. The guy is going to be here. Walk up to him, kill him. And the story, it's not memorable for me. The characters, I didn't really enjoy any of the characters. I think Pacino, who plays Jimmy Hoffa, he probably shows up in the movie about like 45 minutes into the movie, 46 minutes, and he brings like some life. Like the dialogue and everything is so dry. For the most part, it's not like when you watch Goodfellas, you have so many funny moments. Moments where like you'll laugh out loud. In this, it's like you're just watching it and you it's a nostalgia feeling, essentially. Like seeing these guys on film again and doing something serious, a crime biography type movie. It's supposed to take you back, I assume. And as I was watching it, I was just like, okay, next. Again, Pacino, he's loud as Jimmy Hoffa. He doesn't take any mess. He has help from the mob, but he doesn't want to think like, he doesn't want them to think like, oh, they own him, stuff like that. So that's another conflict there. And it was all right. Like people were saying, oh my God, this is what cinema is. And it's like, it's Scorsese with these people in a crime drama. So people are going to elevate it way up here. Go in with your expectations down here. Okay, it's a fine movie, but it's not the greatest thing ever made or anything like that. It again, like 3.5 hours. In the last hour or so, it's kind of pointless. Like things happen. And then after that, it's like, okay, wrap this up. And it just keeps dragging on about the last, few years of Frank's life, essentially. It's just like, why do we need this? We really don't need any more information. Like the story has been told. In terms of like other characters, his daughter Peggy, out of all his kids, she's the only one who gets like shine on camera, and she knows what he does, and she doesn't really like him for that. Like even at a young age, she knew that he was doing corrupt things, and she didn't like him, and she didn't like Joe Pesci's character at all. And that's like one of the relationships that gets ruined because of the things that he's doing. But she barely speaks. She just looks at him just looks at him most of the time when she gets on screen, and he just like looks at her, and it's like an understanding, like, yeah, I probably did the bad thing that you see on the news, and then she just walks away. And it's like, I don't know, just those having the three characters, I think that was the selling point for the movie. Hey, we got De Niro, Pacino, and Pesci doing this crime movie, and it's gonna be amazing. And we're using de-aging technology, which again looks good, but it doesn't fully work because the guys still walk like they're really old. But again, the movie is all right, not the greatest thing. Lower the expectations. Yeah, I know it's Scorsese. Yeah, blah blah blah, all that stuff. But it's just an all right movie, and for 3.5 hours, it could have been much better. It's slow, and the dialogue is not anything spectacular. But that's just my thoughts on the movie. If you have 3.5 hours and you want to see a crime movie, I guess watch this. But if you have 3.5 hours, watch something else. Go see another movie. If you watched it, let me know what you think. If you loved it, please leave a comment. Let me know why you loved it so much. Thank you for listening. Deuces.